I'm Kaitlin.
And I am Jillian.
And we are the hosts of the OK Drama podcast.
We're two friends recap and break down K-dramas one episode at a time.
Guys, we're here for more Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little punch drunk after a late night of working.
Bleh.
But I'm very excited to talk about these episodes.
They were good episodes.
They were. I feel like, why did they save all the good stuff for the last 6 episodes?
That's what I was saying last time.
I know.
It took so long to, get to the really good guts of it.
Yeah, and I think we'll get into... Well, I definitely have some thoughts, but I feel like some things just ended real quick.
Yes.
And they could have definitely milked some things a little bit more.
Yes.
Instead of going to Canada 17 times.
Yes, and the pull the sword out. No. Pull the sword out. Okay, pull the sword out. No. All that whole thing.
Yeah. But overall, these 2 episodes were very enjoyable.
Yes.
So, before we jump in, we're going to do a quick little rundown of where you can find us on the internet. You can tweet us at OKDramaPod, and you can talk to us on Instagram at OKDramaPodcast, and you can send us an email at okdramapodcast@gmail.com. We also have a website, okdrama.com, and you will find, links to episodes, links to support the show by making purchases from Fashion Chingu and Daebak Box, and you can become a patron, and you'll get fun little merchy things, stickers, bonus episodes.
And for the bonus episodes, it's only $3. I'm just jumping in to say that.
Yeah, it's pretty affordable.
Yeah, for episodes that are about the same length as our normal app, so...
Yeah, and 2 a month.
Yes.
You get 2 bonus episodes a month. So it's like paying $1.50 per episode.
Yeah.
I mean, not bad. And we have an Etsy.
Yay!
So you can buy cute pins and stickers and patches and the like. I'm wearing my man wall pin today.
It's so cute. I liked your photo.
Thanks. Thank you. Yes, I saw.
It's a very cute photo.
Thank you. I was standing on my bed because that's the only blank wall and that the lighting was good. I'm not very confident in my selfie taking ability.
That was a good selfie.
Thank you. Yeah, I overthink selfies a lot, so
I just don't smile and I'm good.
Then you have a really nice face, a not smiling face.
Oh, thank you.
I feel because your face is very angular, but my face is very round and kind of chubby. I have chubby cheeks, so if I don't smile, I feel I don't know. I just naturally inclined to smile.
That's okay.
And I feel a little saggy if I don't.
Well, I've never noticed that, but I think it's definitely okay to smile.
Well,
it's great to smile.
Yeah, I mean, smile if you want, don't smile if you don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
Oh, off topic, but kind of not.
Yeah.
Did you clock the Instagram conversation I had with someone yesterday? On our Goblin post? A person that had left us a review on iTunes commented saying that they couldn't wait for the episode, and I recognized that fucking username right away because it was the same one, and I was like, nice. Oh my god, it's you! You reviewed us, thank you! And it was just a really dumb conversation, but it was funny and cool to see a person kind of IRL, but not really recognize that screen name.
Cool.
Yeah.
Did they left us a nice review?
They did, yes. I'm pretty sure God. I read it to you one
Miles
time.
Is losing his mind at the door. Okay.
Edie's being a good girl. She's under the blanket.
Man, these cats. I feel like our audio would be so good if the cats were not in the picture.
Mine are quiet right now. I don't know why. I'm just gonna...
That's good.
Try not to jinx it.
Yeah. Can you hear him?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna hope I can edit that out. So, Goblin. I'm excited. So, should we just do it?
Let's just do it.
Okay. Do I start?
You can
Should
start.
I just start every episode? Okay.
Sure. Let's see if you remember that.
Because I always say, do you want to start? And you always say, you can go first.
Let's see if you remember this for next time. You can start it all the time.
Okay. So, episode 13. We are back at the temple. Kim Shin is being very dramatic. He's, choking Reaper out after learning that he is Wang Yo. And Reaper, okay, in these episodes, I'm like, Reaper, sweetie, use your brain. Like, put 2 and 2 together. Because he's always like, am I Wang Yo?
Mm-hmm.
Is she Kim Sun? Am I Wang Yo? Is that Park Jung-hun or whatever the hell his name is? Like, yes, Reaper.
Last
Those
to
are
know.
the characters.
Last to know.
Yes, but he is just in a state of disbelief that he could be that shitty king from the past, and both men start to tear up because it's like a very overwhelming scene.
They love each other.
Yeah. Kim Shin is yelling at him for killing his innocent family members. Again, Reaper's like, I can't believe it. I killed all those people. Kim Shin gets frustrated and is like, you know what? Fuck this. I had to live with my memories for 900 years while you got a free pass and you don't remember anything. And of course, God is always on your side. And he just walks off. And Reaper is devastated because he lost his best friend and part-time lover. So, not great.
No, it's very sad. Kim Shin gets home. He picks up Untak, and they decide to stay at the chairman's house for a while because he's like, "Well, I don't want to stay here. The Reaper's here." And then I know, and then she tells them about her encounter with Park Jun-hon.
Yeah, Hun, I think. Hun?
Oh, okay.
Girl, I don't know.
With Park Jun-hon, and apologizes for not telling him about Wang Yo, but says she wanted fate to decide if the men actually met. Dokwa is like, what? Y'all are living here? Why though? What's
He's
happening?
really the last to know.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Untak volunteers to stay with Sunny since she's also going through a hard time. Everyone's just basically like all upset, heartbroken, devastated, confused, angry, all the emotions. And then we have like sad shots of Sunny and the Reaper standing outside of the house at different times for different reasons, and
just like missed connections.
Yes, exactly. Sunny and Untak talk about her past, Sunny's past, and Sunny seems to remember Reaper even though he tried to wipe her memory. And it's because, like, those were also great times, and he told her to remember the good times or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And he was the good time. I mean, with that face. Yeah. You don't want to forget that face.
Right. Then there is a quick scene of the Hubei Reaper with our fairy godmother in red, and as usual, it's, like, very cryptic. He's complaining about her, his shitty living conditions, and her being, like, a terrible landlord. But she's like, yeah, you know, life is tough. Fate is really cruel. But, like, we know that she's actually talking about the situation with our Reaper and Goblin family.
Yeah.
Then Park Jun-hon.
Literally just had that conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
I think in these...
I'm gonna go with Hun.
Yeah, I think in the subtitles it says Hun on the show.
Okay. Okay, so then Park Jun-hun continues to be a creep. I hate him.
He's so gross.
I don't like his purple tongue.
No.
Why did they do that?
His little, like, fucking dead-ass fingers. And he's all creaks. Fucking rickety cricket. You're doing the rickety cricket thing from It's Always Sunny. Which I know you, like, haven't seen that show, have you?
I have not watched every episode.
Have you seen Rickety Cricket yet? Did you ever meet him?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He's, like, a priest that, like, went to school with them. And they used to kind of make fun of him. And I think he had, like, he's, like, rickety. He had, like, some, like, health thing. And they would call him Rickety Cricket. And then he was in love with Dee, and she never dated him. And then she saw him as a priest.
I did. Yes, I think I do.
So she dates him. She fucking breaks his heart. And I don't know if you've seen any more than that. But that poor fucking guy, his life is just destroyed. Like, later on in the seasons, you just slowly see him devolve and just get, like, nastier and just, like, more fucked. Like, it's so awful what they did to this character. Oh, my God. But his little, like, rickety body is similar to fucking Park Jung-hoon over here.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll, like, move my body in a certain way, and I, like, hear my bones kind of, like, creak or pop, and I'm like, oh God, I'm way too young. Need to get some, like, little oil my joints up.
Tin Man.
Yes. But we're back to Park Jun-hun being a creep. Rickety, whatever.
Rickety Jun-hun.
Rickety Jun-hun. And we see him creeping on the Pretty Reaper about her past life sins, and she lets him get away because they're both sinners, and he's like, I won't tell if you don't tell. So she's like, fine. Then Eunuch Park, which is what I will probably call him so I don't have to deal with his name, he goes to Sunny's chicken shop, and he knows that she's a former queen. Like, he knows everything.
Yeah.
Because he's the first to know, it seems. And he's like, you know what? I hate you. I'm gonna kill you in this lifetime too. But Reaper, like, pops in, and he's like, not on my watch. And I love his, like, little hat. Like, I love it when he, pokes his hat up above his eyeline. It looks so cool. And at that moment, I was like, how is he not understanding that, like, I guess he doesn't have his memory yet at this point, so he doesn't know what that guy looks like. But I'm like, okay,
but he knows,
see this?
He knows the story.
Yes, like, he knows the story. He knows that he's Wang Yo, so they're only missing one other character or person.
The one that I was saying, like, he's got to show up.
Yeah. And he's like, I'm gonna kill this bitch. And he looks ancient. Like, he's clearly from that time period. So I would be like, this
ain't right.
You know, my deductive reasoning leads me to believe that you are the bad eunuch. But he's like, I wonder if he knows me.
Oh my goodness. The Reaper ends up calling Park Jung-hoon out for feeding on dark human souls to survive. And then we see that he's been, like, the little shithead demon causing accidents throughout Untak's life. Like, with the bus and with just, like, everything. Every fucked up thing that's happened to her.
Yeah, with the drive-by or whatever, hit and run.
Yeah, the hit and run with her mom and everything.
Like, the fuck?
Yeah, so he's been there for a long time. Like, it's a little confusing how much he's been around. The Reaper starts to strangle him and demands to know his name. You already know his name, honey. Park Jun-hoon slips out of his grasp, and he taunts the Reaper for not knowing his own name and for loving Sunny in this life too. Another hint, yo. Park Jun-ho reiterates that Reaper will hold on to Kim-sun/Sunny, but she will die again anyway. And then he vanishes and starts making people collapse on the street, and the Reaper is still confused.
Sweetie.
And, like, like, all those people just, like, passing out on the street. And, like, people are, like, standing and walking by, and they're like, what? What's happening? Am I next? So weird.
I'm really concerned for them. Do you think they died, or do you think he just, like...
I don't know. I feel like he would kill them because he's just shitty.
Yeah.
And, like, for him... Certainly. Yeah, for him, like, why not? You know?
Yeah. Just feeding off of those souls.
Mm-hmm. As one does.
Yeah. I guess that's how you stay alive for 900 years if you're not a goblin.
Yeah. But boy, does he look bad.
Yeah, no. Not good for your skin.
No.
Feeding off of human souls.
No.
So, Kim Shin and Reaper have more sad boy time as they think about living together, and then there's that, like, you know, drama trope where someone answers the phone but no one talks and it's awkward. So, Reaper finally approaches Untak at school, and he asks her to draw the goblin's sword. He points out that he knows that she's probably on Goblin's side, but asks for a favor anyway. He gives Untak the jade ring, and asks her to give it to Sunny so he won't have any excuse to go see her. He tells her that Sunny probably won't remember him anyway, but Untak is like, I think she remembers you. But after he walks away...
That was me last week.
Yeah. I think she remembers you.
I think she's gonna remember him.
Sunny and Untak talk about Reaper and past life stuff, blah, blah, blah. Again, kind of more of the same. Like, are you waiting for your king? My king can't come. Blah, blah, blah. Sunny recalls how, and like we said, she recalls how happy she must have been in her past life and now, since she still has all of her memories, even though Reaper told her to only keep the happy ones. So she's just so in love. Even when she was dying, she was happy to see her shitty husband. Sunny goes to see Kim Shin and urges him to let go of the past, but Kim Shin argues it's still his present life and he can't let go of it yet, and he won't forgive Wang Yo. Which I don't agree with. Like, well, okay. I wonder if I get over things too easily or if I'm not empathetic enough, because would you forgive the person who killed your sister if it had been 900 years and they didn't remember?
If they were, like, reborn and, like, it's their soul but, like, complicated and not, then yes, I would forgive them. Because, especially, like, in this situation, because he's been fucking living with the Reaper. For, like, it feels like months have gone by that they've been living together, you know? And, like...
I think so, yeah.
Like, this is a completely different person. Like, he's obviously grown and evolved and doesn't have someone in his ear as a child fucking destroying his life, you know? And, like...
Yeah.
Causing him to do shitty things. Like, this is an entirely different person who has no recollection of this and feels remorseful for it even though he doesn't remember it.
Yeah, and who clearly would not make that decision again if presented with that option. So, yeah. I'm on team just let it go.
Yes.
But he's very stubborn. And Sunny seems disheartened because she still loves Reaper. But she tells her brother to move forward, and she promises to become happy in this lifetime, to fulfill her promise.
We then cut to Reaper, who looks at the drawing of the sword, but he's then suddenly called to his tea room, and this is where shit gets crazy.
Yeah, I love this.
Yeah, they call him in, and, like, a little, like, bell or something rings, and he's, like, a puppy, like, and then he just, like, disappears in the tea room. And we come to find out that there's two guys there, and they are investigators, and they're there to discipline him for his recent misconduct. And then it cuts to a moment where the Reaper is reflecting on all the times he abused his power, and it's like, oh yeah, he really did fuck up a lot. So many times.
Yeah.
God damn. And, like, I I guess he never thought to question, like, am I going to get in trouble for passing off these untak cards every time they show up? Like,
or maybe he thought they were laying low enough, but
I don't know. Or someone fucking snitched. Fucking rickety Park Joon-ho probably tattled on him somehow just to fuck everything up some more. He admits it, though. He says,
sorry,
yeah.
I'm just thinking of rickety whatever. Okay.
He admits what he did, and he's like, I accept my punishment. And then the investigators start to lecture him about the punishment of a Reaper. And then we see that the Reaper's punishment for misconduct is to get his past life memories back. And he's like, what? No.
Yeah.
And then everything comes back.
Yeah, it's intense. Mm-hmm. I really liked this scene.
It's fucked.
Yeah. So, we are back in his past life, and we see young Wang-yo full of rage and regret because he made a bad decision, and, you know, he can't really live with it. So he keeps, like, flipping over dinner tables, and we see him grow up, and he's still doing that thing. And one day, Park Joon-ho is like, we're done with this, and he starts to poison him, bringing him tonic instead of his regular dinner. Wang-yo knows what it means, but he drinks it anyway. And then we see him spending the rest of his days painting portraits of Kim-sun and wandering around like a crazy person. I love how in K-dramas, in historical K-dramas, like, the guys have the bun on top of their head or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we're gonna make this guy look crazy, so we're just gonna give him a bunch of flyaways.
Crazy. Speaking of, like, heads and, like, head things, I hate Rickety Junho, whatever his name is, but I like those little, like, hat things that look like little bunny ears that are down.
Oh, yeah.
That he's always wearing. It just looks like a little bunny with its ears back. It's cute. I don't know, like, what significance that little hat is in, like, historical times, but it's a cute little hat.
Yeah, I, too, am confused by all of the different hats.
I would like to wear that hat, but I'd probably get in trouble for cultural appropriation. And because I'm a girl.
Oh, no. I thought you meant, like, back in the day.
Oh, no, I mean, like if that hat was here now, I'd be like, oh, cute. Put it on. But I feel like I'd get in trouble. Well, so I just admire it.
I think as long as you're not like, look at this cool hat I found. Yeah. Isn't it so trendy?
Yeah.
I think if you're just admiring a hat, I think you're fine.
You'll wear it. I'll make you wear it instead. I'll admire it on your head because it's okay.
Okay. So, he's a crazy person. He finally starts to cry about how no one ever loved him and orders more tonic to be brought in so he can end his life.
Woof.
I know.
Then we cut to present day, and the investigator's like, you committed the biggest sin. Because he took his own life. Mm-hmm. And now he is a Reaper. Mm-hmm. And now the Reaper will have to live with the memories of his life as Wang-yo in the 200 years of hail. I don't know why I said it, hail.
Hail.
I was trying to read it, like, really ominously.
That's just a southern accent, is your ominous voice?
Yeah, I have to live with his memories as Wang-yo and the 200 years of hail he lives through prior to becoming a Reaper. He breaks down and cries, and he finally accepts that he is in fact Wang-yo, and that he killed all of those people, including himself. Ooh.
I go, our poor Reaper.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Kim-shin is still deep in thought, trying to figure out how to handle the situation with Reaper. He comes home to find Reaper standing in his room, looking at the picture of Kim-sun, and becomes enraged again. And he's like, give me that! You have no right to look at it! Reaper admits that he gave Kim Shin the sword and that he killed everyone and that he's Wang-yo, blah, blah, blah. He's finally getting up to speed and everything. Kim Shin starts to yell at him and seems disgusted that Wang-yo killed himself even though Kim Sun died to protect him. Reaper cries, thinking about his past life, memories, and begs Kim Shin to kill him now. Which, is that possible? IDK. But Kim Shin can't believe it and chides Reaper for wanting to throw away his life again. He says Reaper should carry the burden of his sins alone. Which, I'm like, Reaper / Wang-yo, what are you doing? Like, you want to die again?
He's so
already?
Sad.
You're not even alive.
He's such a sad boy.
I know.
Back at the chicken shop, Eun-tak gives Sunny the ring, and then as they're, like, kind of talking, she spots the fucking rickety eunuch Park, and he's just, like, staring, and he's creaky, and he's smiling, and he's got his purple tongue that you love. And he just, like, wants to kill Sunny. He fucking hates her. But Eun-tak is like, fuck no. And she steps in front of her to protect her. And Eun-tak begs Sunny to get her a lighter. But Sunny's like, what? A lighter? What do you see? Who do you see? What's happening? What do you need a lighter for?
Yeah, Sunny is not responsive.
Get the lighter. Come on. Park Jung-hoon continues to advance. So Eun-tak covers Sunny. And her birthmark glows. And pushes the ghost away. She's got some power.
It's very intense.
Yeah. But it was like, it's kind of confusing because he just like disappears and then she passes out and I was like, wait, what happened?
What just happened?
Yeah, like that encounter.
You're like Sunny. Like,
yeah. That encounter just like went so quickly. It was crazy. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I feel like that is a moment they definitely could have milked more.
Yes.
Where, I think the unit talks about this later, but I feel like they should have made it very clear that he hates Kim Sun because she, like, was a good influence on Wang-yo. And Wang-yo went crazy and stopped whatever. Like, Wang-yo lived full of regret because of Kim Sun. And I feel like it's semi-hammered home, but I just would really like that conversation. It's
definitely fuzzy. And especially here, like, we know he doesn't like her because she, like, married him or whatever, but it, like, they never go into depth as to why he hates her.
Yeah.
Because everything that we've kind of seen, it just seems like she was sort of the queen who didn't really do or say anything until the end.
Yeah. I definitely would have liked to see more, like, maybe her and him by themselves, like, Kim Sun and Wang-yo by themselves, and, like, her making him laugh and him being happy with her. And, like, feeling really conflicted because I feel like it just looks like Wang-yo's a moody teenager who fucking hates everyone.
Yeah.
And it's kind of confusing, like, oh, did he really care about Sunny that much that he went crazy? Like,
because we don't see that on our end.
Yeah.
Other than, like, the moment where he's, like, watching her balance bowls on her shoulders. Like, there's not really any scenes of them together.
Yeah, it's like that and, like, the one time he catches her.
Yeah.
And calls her and says she's heavy.
So. Which is kind of... Is that going back to when the Reaper catches her?
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
I never thought about that.
I didn't think about that either. Until just now. Wow. Yeah, I guess it's like a little throwback. Huh.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he fucking hates her. And Eun-tak is able to kind of save the day very weirdly and quickly, thanks to her birthmark. But she passes out from the ordeal, and her birthmark has faded even more. Sunny helps to get her home, and Eun-tak then summons Kim Shin. And he's concerned because her birthmark is almost gone. And no one really knows what that means or why that's happening. And then she tells him about the encounter with Park Jun-ho. And she's worried that he's going to go after Sunny because she was definitely his target. But Kim Shin is like, nah, it's okay. Someone else is looking out for her. I'm like, okay.
Huh.
All right. The Reaper then meets with his Hubei, and he gives him the paperwork to file the report on Park Jun-ho, which is good. Finally, getting somewhere. And then the Hubei Reaper gives our Reaper another Untak death note.
Yeah.
And it says in like 2 weeks.
Slide across.
Yeah.
Yeah. Present day Reaper seems very loyal because he's like, I don't want you to get in trouble.
Totally, yeah.
Just slide it over.
Yeah.
Kim Shin and Reaper run into each other, and Reaper warns Kim Shin of Untak's death date. Kim Shin tells Reaper that Park Jun-hun is after Sunny and asks him to protect her the way she protected him. Reaper asks why Kim Shin came forward the day he died if he knew he wouldn't make it out alive. Kim Shin makes a very dramatic speech and basically tells Reaper that he was loved or that he wanted to tell Wang Yo that he was loved and that he should kill Park Jun-hun. Kim Shin then realizes he will have to use his sword to take out Park Jun-hun. Like, the actual sword, not the water sword.
The water sword.
Yeah. Because they make it very clear, like, the blade of water will not defeat me. It's like, okay. So then we cut to Sunny, who cries as she thinks about her first meeting with Reaper. Okay, I love this moment. This whole little scene. And she pulls herself together, and we see that Reaper is waiting for her outside of her place. He follows her around and, like, is not doing a very good job about being sneaky, because she totally notices him. They finally end up on their bridge, and Sunny asks if he's a stalker, since he's been following her around for days. He gets flustered and insists that's not the case. She says it was nice to have him around, and that it felt like they were on a date, and she calls him Kim Woo Bin. Ha. I love that.
The Reaper is so shocked because she remembers him. It's true. She explains that he didn't erase her memory properly since she enjoyed every moment with him, even the sad ones. They both cry as they think about their past lives, and Sunny gives Reaper the ring. She says they should really break up and says that her not falling for him is the only punishment she can give him. Then we cut to Untak and Kim Shin having a romantic staycation, and Kim Shin presents her with a copy of her contract that she originally drew up when she tried to pull out the sword the first time. Everyone's just being cute and sweet and romantic.
Yeah. Later on, Kim Shin is a sad boy again, as he cries and reads the contract, and we see him watching the people he loves and quietly saying goodbye. He's trying to go out, like, quietly this time, not raise a big fuss like last time.
Not giving people all these things.
Right. Kim Shin picks up Untak from school and asks her to help him with Park Jun-hun. He takes her to a rooftop and basically uses her as bait to lure the eunuch out. Untak starts to realize that Park Jun-hun waited until Untak was vulnerable to approach her. So he was just waiting for that birthmark to fade. He plans to use Untak's body to take out Kim Shin's sword and kill him to get his final revenge. That is clever. That's smart.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, for real.
Nothing else to do but plan your revenge, I guess, for 900 years.
He knows how to hold a grudge.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Park Jun-ho appears, and he starts to strangle Untak, but she summons Kim Shin. Also, her, like, death card changed, and it cut to the Reaper seeing it, like, change. And I was like, oh, the Reaper's going to come and save the day. The two boys are going to save her. Kim Shin arrives, and Untak begs him to kill her first before the eunuch can possess her. But Park Jung-hun, God damn it, gets to her first. Possessed, Eun-tak starts to grip the sword, and she has now changed. She's got fucking asshole's voice. I don't even want to say his name anymore because I keep fucking it up and I feel bad. I'll just call him asshole. But then the Reaper shows up and he's like, rickety cricket, rickety cricket, rickety cricket. And then he like pulls him out of Eun-tak's body. Eun-tak starts to collapse, but then Kim Shin uses her hands to pull out the sword, and he strikes the eunuch down. When he's pulling that sword out, though, I guess he like really mentally prepared for the pain, because last time he couldn't handle that pain, and he like nearly killed her. But this time he was just like,
yeah,
it's out.
I guess it's like the life and death situations where you just get super strength. This is another scene that I wished was longer.
Yes. Because this guy was, like, such an important big role as, like, the enemy.
Yeah, and I kind of wanted Sunny to be there.
Yeah.
It should have taken place in the chicken shop.
like, fries and chicken flying everywhere.
You know, tables being whatever.
Yeah.
Not on a helipad.
And I expected, like, the two boys... Yeah, it's weird that it was on a fucking helipad. I expected the two boys to do more, like, tag teaming.
Yeah.
Which I guess they sort of kind of did when he pulled his soul out of her body or whatever, and then Kim Shin did his thing, but I don't know.
But then he just stands there crying.
You know.
Which, I mean, that's probably what I would do, but...
Yeah, I was expecting, like, a big showdown here.
Yeah. For sure. I remember watching it and I was like, this is it?
That's what I said too, because I was like really into it and I was like, oh my god, what's going to happen? And then he hit him with the non-water sword. And that be it.
Yeah, I feel like Kim Shin should have been like, I'm avenging you, blah, blah, blah. Like, this is when he should have had a dramatic speech.
Yes.
This is the moment. This is the moment for a speech.
To the person that remembered everything. And has always remembered everything. Not the speech to the person who is in a new, like, body, basically.
Yeah. And I feel like this also could have been a moment for Reaper to really drive home, like, I'm a changed person, like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Or, oh my god, like, we're already rewriting the show. But what if Kim Shin is like, I'm giving the sword back to you, king. And then fucking Reaper is the one as the king to take him out.
Yes.
I mean, just saying.
I mean, I feel like...
Quick little edit.
I feel like if that had happened, then fucking little Goblin wouldn't have gone, like, into little embers and flown away.
Well, he would have, because the sword was already taken out.
Well, I'm saying, though, that, like, their bond would have been, like, so magical and beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Because they're brought back together, like what I was saying in the last episode, where they just needed to, like, make up and kiss and, like, love each other. And then, like, the gods are going to be like, oh, beautiful.
Oh,
they settled
we'll
everything. Yes, exactly. That they would have just let him stay. But that didn't happen because the Reaper was just there crying off to the side, so...
Poor baby.
Or they both needed to have their hands on their sword or something.
Like, together.
They both strike him down. I just really want them to be gay together. I don't know why. I just really want them to be lovers. Forget about Sunny and Eun-tak. I just want it to be Kim Shin and Reaper forever. Please.
I'm sure there is fanfic of that on the internet.
Abso-fucking-lutely there is. There has to be.
Yeah. They would be such a good-looking couple.
Mm-hmm. And the actor that plays Kim Shin is so much better looking in this show than in Coffee Prince, I have to say.
Yes.
Just the wonders of styling. And not wearing fucking early 2000s vests all the time.
and like shaggy hair.
Yeah.
And stuff.
No. I like the hair he has now.
Yes, for sure. He's like super buff now. I don't know if you've seen pictures of him on the internet.
So weird. No, I have not.
But he's like weirdly buff, like superhero. I guess it's for a role.
As a superhero?
Maybe. I don't know.
Also, the photos that I see of Lee Dong-wook, I don't know if it's from this new show, where he's also, like, shirtless. And I'm like, did he always have those muscles? Because, I mean, we never see him in this show in anything but, like, jackets and sweaters, which he looks cool in. But, like, in fucking Strangers from Hell, he doesn't look like he would have muscles like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he got buff for the show because he does have a few shirtless scenes in the show. It is so good, by the way. Like, I kind of wish we were covering it for the podcast. But, you know, we can't cover every good drama. No. Like, but it is...
It's not our like full-time job. Maybe if it was. Y'all can help with that. Patreon and Etsy. Reviews. I don't know. But
watch Tale of the Nine-Tailed because it's really fucking good. Shout out to all of our Twitter friends who encouraged me to watch it and not just wait for it. Anyway, yeah. He's strong and still very pale. He's, like, super skinny. Super skinny, but strong.
Yeah, in Strangers, he looked super skinny.
Yeah.
And mysterious.
In Touch Your Heart, he looked, like, thin. But he wore, like, suits all the time. But he has that thing where it almost, like, I feel like sometimes his head looks too big for how skinny his neck is. So... That's kind of what I noticed, yeah, in Touch Your Heart.
I had my friend's mom used to always say when we were, like, in high school, like, that our bodies are too small for our heads. And she would always, like, just talk shit about, like, how big our heads are on our little bodies and how fucked up it is. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like these fucking... giant basketballs on toothpicks or something. It's not proportionate.
Yeah. There are some people who are, like, just so tiny, but they have a, I guess, regular-sized head.
Big ol' head.
Anyway.
Back to the show.
Yeah, this was, like, before the climax of the show.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, the actual thing happens here. That we've kind of been waiting to happen. Yeah, so he now strikes him down with the real sword. And he looks over at Reaper and reports that he finally died a heroic death. Eun-tak rushes over to him and she's like sobbing. And he tells her he'll beg God to at least let him appear as the rain and first snow. But Eun-tak is, like, inconsolable. She's fucked up.
Yeah.
And he tells her that he loves her as his body starts to turn to little embers. And he just, like... And she keeps crying.
Goes with the wind.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
I was thinking...
Reaper's also just crying.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, can you imagine actually witnessing that? He fucking got, like, Thanos'd. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, like, can you imagine just like you're talking to Alex and then Alex is just like just like dissolves like right in front of your eyes?
I would probably be like Eun-tak and I'd be like,
what? Like, how does that happen? What is this?
Yeah, I mean, I guess she was slightly prepared for it because Reaper told her. But he said no one really knows what's going to happen.
Yes.
But, yeah, that was
crazy.
Rough. And it was so short. Again.
Yes. Again. And I was thinking, like, nah, he's not gone. This is episode 13. He ain't gone, y'all. No way.
No way. So let's get started with episode 14.
We see that he has disappeared. And then we get shots of Do-kwa, Sunny, Secretary Kim, Eun-tak's friend for some reason, and Kim Shin's soldier best friend. They all, like, stop and they're like, oh.
What happened?
Yeah, they get, like, this look on their face like something fucked up just went down. Then we see the writing in Kim Shin's diary and Eun-tak's book fade away, and it seems like every trace of him is being erased. That's fucked up. Eun-tak senses that she's starting to forget him, so she runs to her notebook and writes herself a note to remember Kim Shin. She describes him and reminds herself that she is his bride. She should have described his dinosaur features.
Yes. I think all she writes is he's tall.
And has, like, dark hair.
I'm like, girl, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. A whole lot of people. Like, pretty much every Korean has dark hair.
Yes. Unless, they're a trendy young person who dyes it. But yeah, most Koreans naturally have dark hair. We fade to black. And then we see Kim Shin in his Goryeo outfit, the outfit he died in. He's alone in a snowy desert-looking place, and Butterfly God has a voiceover that says he erased Kim Shin from everyone's mind as a consideration. We hear the godmother say that his punishment was over and he could finally rest in peace, but Kim Shin asks for permission to stay and come as the rain and snow, blah blah blah. The grandmother notes that this was foolish, as God answers, I was with you before, but I'm not with you in this place. And he just flies away. So Kim Shin is stuck in, like, purgatory, I guess? Like, in between the living world and the afterlife.
Well, had he known this is where he was going, I don't know that he'd ever want that sword pulled out.
I know.
Like, what?
Well, I guess if he had been like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to go, he would have just gone to heaven or hell or wherever he was going to end up, but he didn't want to leave. Back to the regular world, we see the godmother is back to her old lady form and is telling the story of how Kim Shin is stuck between this life and the afterlife to Kim Shin's reincarnated soldier bestie.
She's just everywhere. She just knows everyone.
I feel like I would like that job where I'm just like, so this is what happened. Give people the tea. Yeah. It's crazy.
Wait till you hear. 9 years later, we see that Eun-tak achieves her dream of becoming a radio producer.
Yay, Eun-tak.
She goes out for coffee, and we see the Reaper is behind her. Exciting, but they don't recognize each other? And back at home, Eun-tak remembers seeing a Reaper when she was 9 and wonders if it was the same guy she saw at the cafe earlier, but decides it couldn't be the same person. And then we see Eun-tak just basically going through her things that Kim Shin gave her, but she can't remember where they came from or when she got them or, like, what the story is.
Very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because turns out it's hard to erase a person from your life if you shared very big moments with that person.
I don't know what God was thinking.
I don't know.
I'm a little confused, too, with, like, the memory stuff, because it's like she doesn't remember Reaper either, but she remembers Sunny.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking maybe Eun-tak just kept working at the chicken shop. Like she, because Sunny says, you never went to my old shop. So Eun-tak doesn't remember working there. I guess Eun-tak just keeps working at the chicken shop, thinking like she got the job on her own or whatever. But yeah, it is kind of confusing.
Yeah, like the memory, selective memory loss.
Yes.
Speaking of the chicken shop, she goes to the chicken shop and she talks to Sunny and she laments how she'll probably be fired soon since they can't get any advertisers for the show. But her class president friend shows up and tries to set Eun-tak up on a blind date. And the three women joke around with each other, but Sunny and Eun-tak's friend push her to go on the date.
Yeah.
So just do it.
Mm-hmm. I like that Eun-tak has a friend other than Sunny. Yeah.
Big-eyed friend.
Mm-hmm. Her big-eyed friend.
Mm-hmm.
Eun-tak walks home, and we hear the ghosts gossip about her. The ghost who used to follow her around explains that now the goblin is gone, and she can no longer see ghosts, and now she's more like a widow rather than the goblin's bride, which is sad. Back at home, Eun-tak sobs and wonders why she's always so depressed. We then cut to Kim Shin stumbling around in the tundra, and he collapses, and the contract that he made with Eun-tak blows out of his hand. Very dramatic.
Mm-hmm. Her crying in bed was so sad.
I know. She's a great actress.
Yeah, it was depressing.
Yeah, because she is just like, I feel like she really got that feeling of crying where it just like hurts in your body.
And like, not even knowing why you're crying, that like type of depression where you're so sad and you just don't even know why. Mm-hmm. Back in the regular world. It starts to snow and Eun-tak sits alone with a birthday cake. She lights the candle and asks for someone to save her since she can no longer remember what's left such deep sadness in her heart. Kim Shin hears her words when he's in this, like, fucking purgatory. And smoke appears on his hand after she blows out the candle. That was her blowing out the candle.
Sounds great.
The contract starts to smoke, and Kim Shin appears at Eun-tak's side. I told y'all he wasn't gonna be gone.
Okay, I feel like when I watched this for the first time, I was, like, crying because I was, I guess, just, like, more emotional.
So happy.
But I was really sad that he died. I think I was just crying because Eun-tak and Reaper were crying a lot. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I was like, oh, he's back already? Because in Descendants of the Sun...
Yes, there's that, like, whole
it's like
episode
an entire
or two episodes, yes.
Yeah, it's like an episode and a half, I feel like, of us thinking our babies died and, like, being with those grieving women. And you think, like, they're not dead. But they were gone for so long that you're like...
They had you questioning.
Did they die, though?
Yeah, or did one of them die?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that was a fucking little cliffhanger right there. Mm-hmm. That was the one that got me, because, god damn it. And
yeah,
they were like real people. It was like fucking goblins and reapers. They were like real normal human that like real things can happen to. And it was so fucking heartbreaking. And I loved both couples so much. Ugh.
Yeah, that was the time Jill and I cried on the podcast together.
We'd tell you to go back to season 1 and listen, but I don't know.
I think it's fine-ish.
I don't know. I never listen to our episodes because I just can't. I can't hear our conversation after we've had our conversation. Feels too weird.
Yeah, I feel like we've kind of gotten more all over the place since Descendants of the Sun. But, yeah. I just hear myself repeat the same thing a lot. Like, episode after episode.
I love them together.
Yeah.
I just love him. It's always, I love something.
Yeah. For sure. Guys, spoiler, I always love the couples. Who would have thought?
Or you love, like, not the lead couple, but the B couple. You love them more. Yep, and you want to see more of them.
I don't know if you saw the tweet I tweeted from our K-drama, or podcast account, but it was like someone had pictures of Young and what's her face? And they were like talking about how they are a great couple, and I was like, they're Jill's favorites.
Yeah, they're totally my favorite. Them two and Bong Bong and Min Min are my two faves. And now Kim Shin and Reaper.
Yeah.
My third fave. My favorite couple that never was, but should have been. But I don't know. We're only on episode 14, so a lot can happen. Yep, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so he's by her side. Kim Shin tears up and he gives Eun-tak a big hug, and Eun-tak starts to cry too. And he's holding her for a while, but then she comes to her senses and apologizes for crying. Then she realizes that a rando hugged her and asks if he knows her. And she sees him in his Goryeo uniform and wonders if he's an actor because she's in an actory, artsy, whatever the fuck building.
Yeah, like a production company.
Yes. And so she points him towards the drama annex and is like, you're in the wrong place. You need to go over there. And Kim Shin reflects on God's words as he remembers that he has been erased from everyone's life. Just more chaos.
Really inconvenient.
Yes, it's just more chaos here.
PBH.
He then finds Do-kwa and CEO Secretary Kim at the company's office and yells out to Do-kwa, and everyone's confused and freaked out. Like, this fucking weirdo in this old costume is somehow in this building. CEO Kim lets Kim Shin speak, and Kim Shin tells Do-kwa that he is his uncle and brother, but Do-kwa cuts him off. Later on, Do-kwa wonders how the crazy guy from before knew about his secret uncle when only he and his grandfather knew the secret. CEO Kim wonders if his uncle's name is Kim Shin, but Do-kwa is like, no, it would be you. That's not right.
Yeah.
I ain't got
no. Yeah, because
I know no Kim Shins.
We're you family.
What are you talking about? That don't make no sense. And the CEO's,
everyone just has a nugget of information.
Yes, they don't have the full story. And the CEO's like, okay. Sure.
I'm just going to eat my soup. Kim Shin then goes to see Sunny, but he stays outside of her shop and just watches through a window. Sunny sees him and stops, but he leaves before she can get a better look at him, because she's like, huh? Like her little cat ears perk up when she sees him. Kim Shin finally stops in front of Reaper's tea room, and we see them looking at each other through the invisible window, and Kim Shin repeats his words from the first episode, saying Reaper is wearing a terribly crass hat. Reaper then makes a joke and tears up, and we see that he remembers Kim Shin.
Finally, someone.
Yay. Your favorite couple.
Yes, they remember
God
each
could
other.
Not erase that memory of their love.
Even God couldn't resist. He's like, well, just leave the memories.
Let it happen.
They're good memories. Go ahead.
Oh, you can do it.
Okay. They sit inside of the tea room, and Kim Shin questions how Reaper can still remember him, even though no one else can. And then we get a flashback of God, Do-kwa, and the godmother talking about how God should leave Reaper's memory intact so they can remember love. Aww. The Reaper cries as he welcomes Kim Shin and begs for forgiveness. Kim Shin nods, and all seems forgiven.
Okay. He just needed to spend 9 years in purgatory to let it all go.
And, kill the real problem person.
For sure. Back at home, Kim Shin is cleaned up, he's back in modern clothes and hair, and he has a drink with Reaper just like old times. Kim Shin starts asking about how everyone's doing, and Reaper tells Kim Shin how he stayed away from Sunny as his punishment, but he sees Eun-tak every now and then, and that he frequently listens to her radio show. Then they freak out as Do-kwa comes in, and Kim Shin tries to hide behind the couch like a dummy, but Do-kwa is like, I see those feet. But he starts to tell Reaper about this weird encounter with the crazy guy, and then he's like, wait, why do I call you uncle down the hall? Why aren't you just my uncle? And he's like, when did you start living here? Like, it's like if you just tug at one thread, it all comes, like, falling apart. So yeah, Do-kwa sees Kim-shin's little patas hiding behind the sofa, and Kim-shin explains that he's Reaper's friend, and we get a funny moment of Reaper shooing Kim-shin away, like, similar to how Kim-shin did in, like, one of the early episodes. But then Kim-shin pops into a room upstairs, and we get a hint that Reaper has to erase Do-kwa's memory again. Like, looking to my eyes.
Yeah. We then cut to Eun-tak, who is distracted at work. Her team accidentally reported the weather as 22 degrees when it should have actually been 2 degrees. Her boss starts to yell at her, but someone runs in and explains that it is 22 degrees in front of their station. Eun-tak runs outside and sees Kim-shin staring at her from across the street. Cute, but creepy. Creepy for her.
Yes.
Later on, Eun-tak is at a coffee shop and accidentally summons Kim-shin, and they have an awkward conversation as Kim-shin keeps giving her cryptic answers while she questions his behavior. It's just like she has this suddenly fucking random stalker.
Yeah. Not great.
No. But it's like, how do you tell her? Like, you can't.
You just say, I'm Kim-shin. Remember me?
He does not do that.
No, he doesn't.
No. He also doesn't have any money, and he keeps trying to borrow some from Reaper, and the Reaper's, like, getting annoyed. So he finally decides to appear in front of CEO Kim and Do-kwa, and he arrives in the Kim-shin dramatic fashion. Do-kwa freaks out, but CEO Kim is calm as always, and Kim-shin says he doesn't need the company, he just needs his house, an identity, a credit card, and a nephew. And the CEO's like, we hear a voiceover of the grandfather again, talking about, like, if you see a man named Kim-shin, blah, 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 blue, blah, 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 whatever.
Rain, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
Give him everything. And he's like, yes, you are him.
You.
I got it.
And poor Do-kwa is just, like, now has a new uncle in his life. Eun-tak is in trouble at work again after losing another sponsor, and she just coincidentally runs into Kim-shin at a bookstore. They talk for a little bit, but Eun-tak gets fed up and tells him to leave her alone. She becomes suspicious of him because he seems to know a lot about her, so she asks where he works. He just points at the company's building and says he's the boss, which is very convenient, but sounds 100% fake. He takes her advertisement proposal so he can prove it. He's like, I know that sounded bad, but I will get you a sponsor. I'll prove that I'm the boss. Then we cut to Eun-tak sitting with CEO Kim. He signs the contract and explains that he's personally signing it as a request from the president of the company. Eun-tak awkwardly asks for Kim-shin's name and contact information so she can thank him, and CEO Kim points out how weird it is that she doesn't know his name, even though he's, like, doing this huge favor for her. But he's like, his name is Yook Sung-jae, which we now learn is the Goblin's new name, his legal name.
Yook Sung-jae. Eun-tak's department is thrilled that they've secured a new sponsor, and they start to work on a new program which will reconnect people who have lost touch with each other. Eun-tak's class president friend likes the show idea and says Eun-tak should try to find the mysterious Kim-shin person Eun-tak wrote about in her diary. Do-kwa then brings a letter to the Goblins and Reaper household, and it's the letter that Eun-tak sent from Canada, like way, way back episodes ago. It was just delivered to the building where Sunny used to have her chicken shop. Kim-shin encourages Reaper to deliver the letter to Sunny after Reaper explains that Eun-tak and Sunny live in the same building. So the Reaper, like, goes to the new chicken shop every day to try to give her the letter, but she's never there. And he ends up leaving the letter with one of her employees and leaves, and then they end up running into each other at on the street again, and they make eyes at each other, but she doesn't recognize him as she keeps walking. And it was really funny. it was funny before, like, when he's walking and every girl is her. I'm just like, oh my god, what is this? What is happening to you, Reaper?
He's just so in love.
Get it together.
Yeah. I like how he's just, like, immediately sad boy again. Mm-hmm. And she just gives him a look like, the fuck? Mm-hmm. Sunny brings the letter to Eun-tak, and they can't get over how weird it is that Eun-tak received a letter from Canada at Sunny's old chicken shop. Eun-tak insists she's never been to Canada since she doesn't even have a passport, and Sunny says she checked the security footage, and the guy who brought the letter was unbelievably handsome. That's not a lie. Nope, not at all. Eun-tak reads the letter, and we see it was addressed to her mom, which is, like, pretty sad. She wonders if the Ajashi she writes about in the letter is Kim Shin, and becomes frustrated that she can't remember what happened to her 9 years ago.
Yeah, so she just doesn't remember Kim Shin, though. Like, she remembers her mom and, like, everything before, right? Her aunts and all that bullshit.
Yeah, it seems like just, like you said, like, the 3 months she spent with Reaper and Kim Shin.
And all the Sunny, memories with him.
Yeah, are gone.
Kim Shin calls Eun-tak, and they go on a walk together. And she tells him that she's going on a vacation, and he encourages her, saying she'll be able to find her own way around, like, she lives there. And the phone call before was, like, super cute, because she just gets really excited when he calls. And she's, like, really giddy.
Yeah. And she accidentally summons him again because she doesn't know she can do that. And so he's just, like, watching her be super cutesy on the phone.
Oh, God, I'd be so embarrassed.
Oh, yeah.
Then we get, like, little vacation prep montage. Eun-tak flies to Quebec. She heads straight for the hotel that the letter came from. And one of the employees explains that the letter was stuck in the mail chute all this time. Reaper and Sunny have sad time alone. Blah, blah, blah. Back in Quebec, Eun-tak starts to walk around and sees the red door that Kim Shin used as a portal to bring her through in the past. Suddenly, Kim Shin walks through the door and awkwardly tries to turn around when he sees Eun-tak. She calls him out for following her. I think it's a little more than following, like...
Yeah.
What? You didn't even tell him where you were going.
Creepy.
But he insists that he didn't follow her and that he's a good person. He reminds her that she promised to buy him dinner as a thank you for the advertising contract. She agrees and leads the way.
End of episode.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that to be the end, honestly. The door like, changed. Like, it changed, like, filter. And I was like, oh, okay, it's done now. All right.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird stopping point. But whatever. Last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Do we have predictions for how the show will end?
It looks like she's wearing the outfit she was wearing in those future shots that he was seeing of her. So I feel like she's not meeting, but she's having dinner with him. I mean, obviously, they all got to remember each other at some point. I just don't know how or when, but it's going to happen.
I don't really remember either.
I just know, like, it has to happen.
Yeah.
I don't really have predictions, though. I'm just bummed that the fucking rickety Park Jung-ho thing, Hun, wasn't longer. I just wanted a big showdown there.
Yeah, I feel like, too, they could have hinted at him being in the present a little earlier. And then, really have a huge fight scene with everyone there.
Yeah.
And, like, Reaper having to protect Sunny and help Eun-tak and, you know, have our quadruple there. And I want more past life stuff of Kim Sun and Wang Yo falling in love.
Yeah, definitely. These were definitely good episodes.
For sure.
I do like to joke with Andrew when I watch the show. Because honestly, I've had to watch these, like, all episodes in parts because they're so long. And I like to joke with Andrew, and I'm like, this last episode, it's an hour and 20 minutes. I watched for 40 minutes, and I still have 2 hours to watch. It makes no sense. But, like, that's just how it feels because the episodes are so fucking long.
They are. And I feel like the episode 13...
That was like an hour and 25 or something.
Yeah, no, it was really long. And I was like, when I realized what was happening in the episode, I was like, that's in this episode? Like, we still have to get to that? Like, because I remember, like, the pulling out the sword is, like, super memorable, obviously. So I knew that would have to happen soon. But I was like, oh, shit. This is the same episode as all of that stuff? Wow.
Yeah.
So
they're long. It's crazy.
They are.
But my little Tokebi Edie likes to watch.
Aw.
She lays down with me and watches. She usually falls asleep, but like she's asleep right now. She's being a good girl, but she likes to watch.
Her twin, Gong-yu. Yeah. Well, do we have any I love yous?
I will say when Eun-tak is just, like, inconsolable at the end of 13.
It pulled on those heartstrings.
It's just sad.
Yeah, really sad. I think, well, in the notes I wrote down, I love you, Reaper and Sunny's everything.
Of course.
So, I'm obsessed with them. I love it when Reaper is awkwardly following her, and she calls him out and is like, I like being with you, but we can't do this anymore. But you know what makes me really sad? Is that at this moment in time, Sunny's still alone in, like, 9 years later. So I'm like, if you're just gonna be alone, like, maybe you should have just been with Reaper and been happy.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, I don't know, maybe she had boyfriends and whatever and was happy with how things were going. But it seemed like she had moved on, so maybe she could have forgiven the person who ordered her death. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is quite a hurdle, but she's just so attracted to him, and they're so cute together. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm really tired.
You just like them.
I just like them. Okay. Fashion. I wrote down a lot of stuff this time.
Go for it.
Okay. Said Eun-tak's traveling outfit. Sunny's sweater when Kim Shin comes back. It's like a sweater, but it's like an open back, so you can see her, like, silky shirt under the sweater, and then she has a cool necklace. It's just an overall cool look. Eun-tak's leather/shearling jacket looked cool. Dokwa had a floral printed suit that looked cool. Dokwa has, like, really cool suits that I feel like Andrew and Alex would look cool in for, like, playing shows and stuff. And Sunny's blue shirt and plaid skirt.
Yeah, I also made note of the floral printed suit. And pretty much everything Eun-tak wears 9 years later. Those are all good outfits. Good sweaters, good jackets.
Yeah. Again, so jealous. I'm just so ready for sweaters and jackets. I just force it. I still wear them, but I'm just really hot.
It's too damn hot.
So, okay. Do we have anything else?
Just watch the last 2 episodes.
Yeah, I'm excited. I guess quick other drama corner. Well, we're going to... Okay. By the time this comes out, we will have already posted this, but we're going to watch The Host. So that'll be cool. Check our Patreon for that. Again, only $3 if you want to get our monthly episodes. But also, again, I just wanted to reiterate how much I'm enjoying Tale of the Nine-Tailed. It is really fun so far. As of right now, I've only seen the first 4 episodes. But it's a good drama. And, like, someone tweeted, like, they've never seen Lee Dong-wook play the same type of character in the dramas that they've seen him. And it's kind of true. Because in this one, he's, like, really, chill. Like, he just doesn't seem to really care about anything. And I like it. And he has red hair. So that looks cool.
Interesting.
So, if you want to talk to us about Tale of the Nine-Tailed, hit me up on Twitter. Because I love to just say, oh, I love him. Over and over again.
They're so cute.
I don't have great insight. But I just love to be enthusiastic.
You know what you like, you know what you love, and that's totally fine.
I bring enthusiasm. Sometimes that's just all you need, you know?
Absolutely.
So, I guess that's it. Anything else? Okay. Well, we will talk to you guys next time for the finale of Goblin. Yay!
Goodbye! Bye.